like, but we're into the 9th round, almost ready to fully go live with this game, Knight, and I'm not going to ask you for score predictions, but are you relatively convinced it should just be a straight 2-0 for Envy here? Or if you are you going to go full foreign mode and say that it's going to be to the extent where Immunity aren't going to want to play the game anymore?
My gut feeling tells me that Immunity could get around 7 or 8 rounds on cash, but I think DDoS 2 could be a stomp. DDoS 2, EnVyUs are just arguably one of the strongest teams on that map. I just can't see EnVyUs losing it. As well, the dynamic of their team, they've got so many versatile players like Shox, who's a phenomenal rifler and can pick up the AWP when required as well. That really suits a map like DDoS 2. So they're currently playing Ringa Ringa Roses on this 9th round, and there's Imagine all by himself. So what do you think?
Well, I think it's going to be a really difficult one in either way, and obviously they want to go off to a hot start, and I think that's going to be quite a key thing for Immunity here. If they can really get that pistol round going on their T side now, as it looks like they will be, yeah, so Envy deciding to stay on the CT side as you would normally do. So I think if Team Immunity can come off hot, bring it to the faces of EnVyUs and really, bring some aggression maybe and catch them off guard at the start of the game, maybe then they can start to get the ball rolling, but it's still going to be a very difficult task. And even if they do get a good start against EnVyUs, we know what this French team can do. We know that they can pull it back with what looks like at times almost quite a lot of ease. So, who knows what's going to happen, but it is going to be a very difficult task for them, and they are starting on this less favoured T side on cash to start things off, which doesn't help them in some respects as well. But I mean, looking at that Immunity roster, if you had to pick one player there to really be the one to step up in this game and really go for it and lead the way to victory, if they are going to do that, who would it be for you?
Astillo impressed me a lot yesterday. Obviously, he was brought in from Streamline quite recently to replace Yam, who's now joined Vox. But what I'm really looking forward to is once we go to the gun rounds, I'm intrigued to see how EnVyUs are going to play the CT side. Are they going to put an AWPer at mid like Smiths to just basically sit in Z and trying to hold it from there? Are they going to smoke mid and push all the way up, stick people underneath boost? Let's wait and see. But here, the pistol round could be really important for Immunity. You give them a bit of money to work with. So let's see what happens.
Well, it's going to be that retake situation on A if Team Immunity do push in. They're happy playing very passively back towards the truck and nobody else on top of that A bomb site initially. Very slow start so far. Nobody wanting to give away any early initiative in this round.
So only one player on the A-bomb site. Again, this is the new meta game where most teams on the pistol round, on the CT side of cash, they sort of hold back from in and around either deep on short or deep around on the truck, sort of hand over the A-bomb site to the Ts and then play it on the retake. But at the moment, Team Immunity are really yet to make their move.
Well, we can see now Ricker just spotting the edge of Smith in towards vents, but MBK takes off his head in that advanced position down the bottom of mid. Happy's going to peek around the corner and finds Ustillo, that is. They have been able to get on towards that A-bomb site, but now the bomb will actually be making its way through. They get the smoke grenade down, and will they get the plant? Yes, they will.
Yeah, bomb is down. Sniper knows that EnVyUs are going to be making their way in from the short area. It's 3 versus 5. Great play from EnVyUs so far. James looking to put an end to it. Imagine gets the headshot. It's now 1 versus 3. But Sniper has crept behind the team from France. He had 2 more to deal with. If only perhaps he'd managed to drop Happy as well. But I still think the EnVyUs players would have still had enough time to defuse should they have terminated that final Immunity player. So pistol round has gone to the CT side, but still plenty of room to work with for Immunity. And let's not forget that they now have the Tech 9s that they could even use to switch this game around 360 degrees.
Yeah, well, sometimes what we're seeing as well on the T side is if you get that bomb down in the first round, some teams actually go for a full save at times or just get a couple of pistols so that they can try and afford to make sure they can get that early buy in round 3. So maybe Team Immunity are thinking of doing that. They've really not invested in much whatsoever here so far. Sniper and Imagine with P250s in hand, but it could be a relatively easy cleanup unless they are overwhelmed. Kiyoshima with 2 very quick, swift and easy kills. So to start things off, Imagine will fall finally, and EnVyUs 2-0.
Yeah, that was really impressive from Team EnVyUs. Obviously, Team Immunity, as you'd expect with the Tech 9s, they want to stay up close and personal, hence why they head straight towards the B bomb site. But because they planted on the initial round, they knew they didn't have to invest in armor. They brought up just pistols, which obviously made them a lot more vulnerable to the Team EnVyUs submachine guns. And because they planted the bomb, the Aussies, they've now got AK-47s. And Team EnVyUs, they're still on the same weapons they had last round. So when you compare the AK to these MP7s, there's only one winner. But Kiyoshima thinks otherwise.
Well, there is an initial trade there. Shoxy will fall to the hands of Imagine before, as you said, getting traded out. We can have a look. Once again, a very passive setup in mid, although now we see one player getting boosted up into the vents. That will be Smith, the man on your screen. Seeing what information he can find. Team Immunity backing off after that initial kill. And I like the aggression there from Team EnVyUs in that initial B main area to try and find some information. And it was only a trade frag, but still all the same. Smith with the P90 is going to try and do some damage down. The incendiary grenade falls as he sees more players coming through that B main area. And let's see if Team Immunity can push through.
Yeah, Smith rattles off a few shots with that P90, spraying and praying towards Checkers, but Team Immunity, they do have their hearts set here on the B-bomb site. They are a man down, but look at this position where Kiyoshima's hiding right in the corner. He will pop out with the MP7. He definitely sprayed and prayed there. Got a headshot. Ustillo and Ricky now returning frags, leaving it in a 2 versus 2.
MP7 and P90 against 2 AK-47s. You still look very, very low indeed. Just checking if anybody's coming from the flank. Rico is in this advanced position over towards the Checkers area. I'm not sure if he spotted that player. Now he will have done. Tries to get that pre-fire shot onto Smith, but cannot find the head. Now he does, leaving NBK, the final player left alive. And that was the difficult position there for EnVyUs because they had to split up to cover both bomb sites.
Yeah, that was massive. Team Immunity, they knew that EnVyUs knew they were on the B bomb site, so they slowed it down to perhaps try and trick them into think they were going round the back. They were 2 men down there at one point. EnVyUs, they got greedy knowing that they had the man advantage. They started peeking with less superior weapons, and credit where it's due to the Australians. They managed to get the headshot, so we could see Happy there. He's frustrated, and rightly so. But the good news is now that Team EnVyUs can still afford to mount a buy.
They most certainly can. No players with head armor on the CT side in round number 4. Let's see how they spread out. We've got 3 players from Team Envy heading over towards A, 2 over towards B. So no initial mid presence, although once again it looks like we will see one player, which I think is Kiyoshima. Yep, it is. Boosted into the vents area to see what information he can find.
Yeah, it's so crucial on the CT side. You've obviously got to be careful when you know the T's have figured out you continuously boost that person into vents, because when you do put that person into vents on the CT side, it allows you to control mid up close and personal, and thus allows the rest of your teammates to just focus on defending the other parts of the A and the B bomb site. But they know that Immunity have taken mid control because, of course, they dropped Kiyoshima, but they've got to be careful because Shoxy's in and around Z.
Well, Smith has now made his way over towards that B-bomb site. Shoxy is going to find a smoke grenade at his feet, but 50 seconds left on the clock. We can now see them making their entrance over towards B, which was the right decision earlier on, unless Smith has something to say about it. That's 2 quick kills from him to give them the man advantage. Will it be 3? No, it will not. Denied. Shoxy pushing through the vents now will respond on to Ustillo, and Knight were left on a 3 versus 2.
We are Shoxy. He didn't even bother waiting for his teammates. He decided to go all in. It's confident play from Shoxy and a confident retake from Team EnVyUs on that B bomb site. They didn't even manage to plant the bomb, and if they had planted the bomb and lost that round, of course, they would have gotten $800 more each. But that still would have left them in an extremely tight situation to mount a buy. So now we're probably only going to see P250s because it's the cheapest gun that isn't a Glock, obviously. They're going to play it out. They're most likely going to lose this one and buy up some AKs or maybe force some Galils come the next round.
Difficult thing there for Team Immunity was, of course, we had that information that all players, and actually for a while, left that B-bomb site from Team EnVyUs. So if they had pushed it earlier on, they had a good chance of getting the bomb down, but unfortunately caught it a little too late and eventually lost the round as a result. So now we can see them stacking their way over towards the A bomb site here. Right on the edge in this sneaky little spot is Happy. NBK will find one. Happy gets the second, and well, the bomb has fallen at his feet. Another player will drop through, but imagine the last one left alive, making his way through A main now, and it won't be too long before he falls. He's just going to see if he can do some economic damage, and that's a nice kill onto Happy, but instantly traded by NPK, 4-1.
Still, considering that Team Immunity didn't actually buy up any armor that round, the fact that they managed to drop 2 out of 5 players, obviously, not just does them a world of good, because it means they get money for the P250 frags, but it also means that Team EnVyUs have to rebuy up them weapons. So it makes Team EnVyUs spend more money. And we know on the CT side in CSGO, it's so expensive, it's so much more expensive. You can win 2 rounds in a row, mount a bit of money, and the second you lose 1, you're then broke and you're back on the eco. So it's important now that Team Immunity, they keep with these rounds flowing. They need to try and deflate this EnVyUs economy and force them back onto an eco.
Team EnVyUs changing their defensive setup very slightly. We can see Kiyoshima now in an advanced position over towards Team Main, and also Shoxy on the sandbags in mid as well. changing things up very slightly indeed, but no frags as of yet here, Knight. We can actually see Sniper through checkers there, only with that Tech 9 in hand, so he's in a tricky spot. Smith has just actually seen that grenade fly up over towards the top of him, flashes his way out. Kiyoshima's there to support as Sniper will fall. James goes down as well, and once again, this is looking great for EnVyUs.
Yeah, it almost looked like Team Immunity were interested in trying to mount a fake on towards a B-bomb site, but they just got completely taken out. But smokes have gone down, they have put off short, but Astillo was just left by himself there. And again, like I said, it looked like Team Immunity were trying to fake the B-bomb site with the 2 players there, maybe hoping one person would stay in checkers, make a bit of noise and rotate one back and push the A-bomb site as 4. Obviously because they smoked off CT spawn from B as well. But when you lose so many players so fast on, it left the guys heading towards the A-bomb site. There was only 3 of them, and then they just got taken out as well. So that's the Counter-Strike economy for you. Team Immunity back on pistols.
Punished down to pistols indeed, yes. Round number 7 it is. And Team EnVyUs looking strong as you would expect, only letting up 1 round so far and dealing good damage to the Team Immunity economy. So they're just going to see what economical damage they can do here. Once again, playing relatively passive, but you would have thought this would be a very easy round for Team EnVyUs. And one thing for Team Immunity here, this is what I said at the start, they can't allow EnVyUs to get the ball rolling and keep it going. They've got to take it to EnVyUs. So on this T side now, when they're attacking, they've got to pump up some aggression, I think, in my opinion.
Thing is, initially there was only 1 player in that NBK area. Ironically, that Happy is playing. He will get the spray down here on this eco, but this is the problem when you head towards that A-bomb site. There's so many different areas and corners that you have to check, which of course the CTs could potentially hide in. There could be a CT in the position where Happy was, a CT in NBK. The heck, there could even be a boost, behind the blue container on the bomb site, or even someone on short or someone on truck, which is why when you head towards the A-bomb site, you've either, especially with those pistols where they're most effective at running and gunning, you've either got to push out all in one go and put your eggs in one basket, or you've got to use smokes to cancel out those areas, particularly when you know your opponents are with rifles and AWPs. And that's an important return frag from Ricky.
Yep, 1-for-1 trade initially at the start of this round, as Ustillo in a great position there, all the way through CT, able to find some good information here, but he's kind of doing a Lone Ranger job here. He's got no support from his teammates at the minute. They're in mid, but he will take down Smith, and suddenly EnVyUs will be absolutely baffled as to how he got through there. Unfortunately, he's only able to pick up 1 kill. It will now be left in a 3 versus 2 situation. Happy smoking over towards this forklift area. Shoxy takes down Imagine. That's 2 kills in a row for Shoxy, and suddenly out of nowhere, Ricky finds himself the last one left alive. He will fall, and that should have been around for Team Immunity in my position, especially with Ustillo's good work pushing through CT.
The thing is, Team Immunity, that actually looked good for him at one point. Yeah. Team EnVyUs stacked the A-bomb site with 3 players, slap bang on in the middle of the bomb site. And looking at it before all the kills happened, you just couldn't help but think to yourself, holy moly, Immunity now, even with these weapons, are going to roll into an A-bomb site that's fully stacked. But they got the frags, but they knew Happy was lurking somewhere. They waited and waited and waited, and they gave Shoxy the time to rotate around towards Truck. And then he just mowed them down with the AK-47, and they can't let him do that.
Scar 20 on the hands of Smith. The auto sniper takes down 1, and that's just going to be even more humiliating for the Team Immunity squad. They have taken down NBK, and Shoxy is low, but it's not going to be enough. They try and do some damage with the Tech 9s in this 9th round, but it will not do it. Wow, okay, Smith. Interesting. That's the auto sniper gone, actually. I don't think anybody's bothered to pick it up. But they got the bomb down, Team Immunity, of course, which is, a good thing. That's going to help their economy out. But in the grand scheme of things, EnVyUs are already starting to run away with this game.
Yeah, as expected, they picked up the auto sniper. It is, of course, a very expensive weapon. Yeah. And on a map like Cash, it can be really effective towards the B-bomb site as well. Even more effective than an AWP. Because obviously you don't need to just reload after every shot kind of thing, or pull the trigger, or whatever the hell it's called when you pull back the AWP thing.
Cocking the...
is that what it's called?
I don't know
good
what it
with
means.
Weapons.
No, neither am I.
No. Anyways, this is what I was talking about earlier, what I was interested in seeing. Team EnVyUs. Sometimes it's been NBK, sometimes it's been Kiyoshima, where they smoke Z. That prevents Team Immunity from pushing straight out, potentially getting into vents and taking the mid control. And it means they can leave one person under boost, so Team Immunity can't utilize boost. But it looks like the Aussies are going to try and assault this large array bomb site. all eyes by the sniper, and if MBK shows just a millimeter of skin, surely an AWP shot will land in his right chest.
He's getting very tagged down by that Molotov grenade, and he will fall to it in the end. So great placement there from Team Immunity, but Shoxy responds instantly with 3. Happy helping out as well, and Sniper now leaving himself the last one left alive will fall. Great round there for Shoxy, and again another strong EnVyUs hold, even with NBK getting taken down in the famous position named after him over towards quad. It's not enough for Team Immunity, and just look at the money, look at the frags. It's all on the side of the French.
Good news is, because Team Immunity have lost so many consecutive rounds, they've still got a bit of money to work with, and let's bear in mind that these AK-47s are somewhat relatively cheaper than the M4. But it doesn't matter, because EnVyUs have tons of money, especially if Happy keeps getting frags like this. The Gfinity desk touched on it. Happy, of course, known to be the EnVyUs in-game leader, but it has now changed to Shox. And it'd be interesting to see how well he does on the T side of this map.
I agree, and it'll be interesting to see again how well Happy does, and also how well Shox does when he's in that calling role.
It's because he's normally such an important entry fragger for example, so now he's calling, he has to focus on other things. So for some players, it degrades their game, but let's see what happens here with Kiyoshima and Checkers.
He does spot out a couple of players there. Flashbang will go down, completely blinding Imagine, and the clock is ticking here. 48 seconds left on the clock to play with for Team Immunity. Still 9 players left alive. Sniper the only casualty so far. Kyo will peek round the corner, and that's Imagine down. Easy frag for him. Virtually no contesting whatsoever. He finds Ricky with the AWP there, and he tries to put some shots down. We'll tag him to 65. Shoxy's there to help, and Ustillo now left in a 1 versus 4.
Yeah, the main issue there, obviously Team Immunity, one of the players fell back, which left his teammate hiding in the corner where Stillo currently is, all by himself. And then the thing is, Kiyoshima with such a free role, like normally I'm sure he wouldn't take peeks like that up against the likes of Fnatic and co, because when he finds himself in those 1 versus 1 battles, you'd probably put money on him getting nailed in the head himself. So Team Immunity, I'd like to see more of a set play approach from them, maybe up the tempo a little bit, because at the moment they've not really penetrated any bomb site properly, and even when they have headed towards the A bomb site, I think it's twice now that they failed to check the corner where MBK and Happy normally hide.
It's been really predictable so far from Immunity.
Oh, no!
That being said, well, that is not a great way to do things. Justillo takes down his own player. MBK comes in to help out the case, as well as Shoxy will drop Justillo, and Sniper with a Tech 9 tries to do something. But if this map couldn't really get too much worse for them, a team kill in that fashion really didn't help them out again whatsoever. But is there any way back for Team Immunity in this half, well, in this map, kind of? I really don't think so. I know Team EnVyUs are on the stronger CT side, but it's not this CT-sided.
The thing is, it looked like he got flashed as soon as they had pushed straight out of mid, and I think he just continued to spam. Then he ended up going into that corner, and I think it was Ustillo who nailed James with the Tech 9, but let's see. Team Immunity, they really need to start helping themselves to a frag or two. The AWPs are strong from EnVyUs, and it's Kiyoshima versus Ustillo, and finally there is the first frag, there is the entry at mid, but Happy quick to return it, Smiths as well. This is what EnVyUs do, they're flowing with confidence at the moment. As soon as one of their players goes down, they go even more aggressive to ensure that they keep that man advantage. It's a joy to watch, and this is what EnVyUs are all about.
Trade frag simply going in favour of Team EnVyUs here, very much so. Ricky slightly gets tagged up by the Molotov grenade coming in towards his feet, but Team Immunity, for me, they've been very predictable. They've not really done anything to reinvent the wheel, which against a team like EnVyUs, when they are the real underdogs, is something that they needed to do. I know that is a lot easier said than done, but Team EnVyUs are used to these things that Team Immunity are doing. The only time they've ever really been caught off guard was when we saw Ustillo push through to CT spawn, and then he was only able to pick up 1 frag, and instantly EnVyUs were on the case.
Well, Team Immunity, they're relying quite a lot on buying up the AWP, sending an AWPer towards A main, and relying on that A main player to get the entry frag onto, for example, someone hiding behind the red container or where MBK currently is. But the French side, they're not showing any flesh, and no flesh means the AWPer can't get the frag, and they're facing 1 versus 1 up against MBK here. Ricky should have probably peeked with Sniper. The good news is Sniper knows where he is, but with 10 seconds to go, and MBK in that great position knowing exactly where he is because of the Smith's death, it was always going to be an EnVyUs round, and again, Team Immunity, AK's brought up. Let's see what other ideas they have under their belts.
Very tricky situation for Team Immunity to come back into the entire map already. not the start that they would have wanted against Team EnVyUs. And they can't let their heads drop here, Kyanite. Once again, I know that's easier said than done.
I'd like to see them, when they head towards A main, Molotov out the MBK spot. They should know by now that there's always, or the mass majority of the time, a player playing there.
Yeah,
I can't remember the last time Happy or MBK weren't in that corner. Now they're moving out because of the smokes, but we probably are going to see a set piece onto A, or they might split it.
Well, they are making their presence known over towards mid. They're going to try and Molotov over towards sandbags, where in fact Kiyoshima is indeed. That grenade will tag him down to 60 HP, and Ricky finds his head there to get the entry frag. That's 2 in a row. James responds. Are EnVyUs going to fall here in this round? Maybe not. Maybe they will do. It's left in a 4 versus 2. All of the smoke grenades go down, a cluster of them, to try and do some good damage and prevent Team EnVyUs coming onto this B-bomb site. They've got yet to get the bomb down, which they do now do. MBK is going to get caught out over towards the fence area here. Will he find the frag? Imagine misses that, and he cannot do that.
He can't, and now they're going to know that MBK is going to be making his way in from this T-spawn side of the B-bomb site. Look, just patient play from MBK. Waiting for his teammate to rotate, and there are the 2 kills from the team from France. Retake confirmed, 13-1. And Team EnVyUs, even when it looked like it was a man in favor of immunity, they had the bomb down on the B-bomb site, they failed to hold on to it. And I hate to point fingers, but imagine they probably should have done better on towards MBK coming from the
as
vents.
Soon as
because imagine had the positional advantage and the AK-47.
If he had picked up that kill on MBK, that would have forced the other player. Was it Shox who had the AWP at the
Yeah,
end?
and he probably would have fallen back to save
exactly,
it.
Yeah, it would have instantly forced him back to save it, unless Shox would have gone for some absolutely crazy play. But, well, have a look at this. Shoxy and Smith start things off. They're hiding and cuddling in the smoke and don't even realise it. Keo will get the better of it, though, as Sniper falls.
He's got the bomb as well.
Yeah, Rick Air, the last one left alive in a 1 versus 4. This is going to be a 14-1 half here, Kyanite. Team Immunity, I'm sorry to say, not looking too hot here on cash. Team EnVyUs, on the other hand, they've spent most of the afternoon asleep in the player lounge, and they've woken up now.
Yeah, they were just lying down. For anyone who hasn't seen the player lounge, I'm pretty sure a lot of players have posted pictures of it on Twitter. Yeah. They have these awesome sort of leather like bean bags.
Yeah, they're so comfortable.
Yeah, Smith was just sort of sat in the corner like with his EnVyUs jacket on, just trying to stay nice and warm.
I tried to grab one earlier on, but I didn't want to disturb Shox, who was like fast asleep, so we had to like drag it away really slowly, but they are super comfortable. So EnVyUs have had a chilled out afternoon so far, but they've come in hot and ready on this first map. Let's see if Team Immunity can at least take this pistol round here.
Yeah, I don't know what they've been feeding these EnVyUs guys. I tell you what, they've had a lot of Nando's this weekend, and whatever EnVyUs are employing against Team Immunity, they're most certainly not immune to it. I'll tell you that. They're going to mount an attack on towards this A-bomb site. It looks like it's going to be MBK to lead the charge, and he will get the frag. Shoxy, look at how confident he is. He's not waiting on the bomb site. He's going to take the CTs on head first, but this complacency could come back to haunt them.
It most certainly could, but then as soon as you say that, the caster's curse comes in, and out of nowhere, 3 one-tap headshots come in from the T's, and Sniper finds himself the last one left alive. And this is what EnVyUs do time and time again against this team, it seems. Even when they're left a couple of players down and they're getting tagged up and they could be in an awkward spot, they just seem to somehow pull it out with some crazy accuracy. 15-1 it is. EnVyUs now only 1 single point away from winning this first map here and confirming at least 1 point against the Australian Team Immunity squad.
Yeah, they don't really have much of a choice here, Team Immunity. It's do or die, quite literally. They're holding on to the final thread that they could potentially get this game. Estillo has opted to go for the scout. And Team EnVyUs pretty much here, Chewy, just repeating what they did last time round. Kiyoshima coming in with the MP7. Estillo got 1 frag, but Hello Imagine gets another. Smiths with the AK-47, but phenomenal play with the scout from Estillo. Sniper will pick up an AK-47 as well. And finally, Team Immunity with something to scream and shout about. And now, this will of course cripple EnVyUs' money, but let's be honest, Chewy, it's still an incredibly steep hill for Immunity to climb.
I don't think we can emphasize it enough. We don't really have to discuss it. The scoreboard alone said it at the top of the screen. A very long road back for Team Immunity, maybe just doing a bit of temporary damage here to the Team EnVyUs squad. They have forced them back down to those pistols though, so that's a good start, but already Ricky getting tagged down to only 4 points of health. That's a very good start to things. Shoxy's going to eat a grenade initially, but Ustillo gets 2 kills there. Keo does respond. Rika still left alive on very minimal health. And well, that's Ustilla down as well. So actually, we're left in a 3 versus 3.
M4's mounted up against 2 Kalashnikovs, and Happy's P250, and that P250 goes to work. Happy coming in, looking to get the second frag. I'll tell you what, Ricky is on his last breath, and that breath is no more. James now to try and salvage this for EnVyUs. Bomb has been planted. He's completely surrounded. He gets the headshot, but Kiyoshima comes in. GG, ladies and gents. And even there where Immunity, you know, they had that advantage financially,
they can't take it.
They still couldn't take it. And Kiyoshima, the guys at the Gfinity desk, mentioned how consistent he's been recently, how strong he's been, and again, there he was at the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I know it's not all about frag count, but the scoreboard, you know, looking at the frags, the Team EnVyUs squad had a consistent good number throughout.
Yeah,
they all contributed in their way. Whilst on the other hand, Team Immunity, none of them had over 10 frags. None of them even hit double-figure frags, which is evident, obviously, when you only pick up 2 rounds. But in the grand scheme of things, I believe this was their map choice. So to only, I know it's EnVyUs versus Immunity, which is a big difference. We can't even deny that. But only getting 2 rounds on your map choice, that's a difficult one. We talked about how they were left in an awkward predicament with the veto system still, but if it's a 16-2 score on Cash, and now we're going into Dust 2 for EnVyUs, I dread to think what the